Welcome to the Tom
and Jerry Pod.
We're back here in Denver after a good long hiatus of, 2-3 weeks.
It was 3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on that we just didn't want to address. There was that awards party thing, we didn't want to talk about it. We don't want to speak into it existence.
We kind of just wanted to let things blow over.
Yeah, things are bad. There was war and, war and will and just bad.
Markets just going crazy and nobody knows really what's going to happen.
Yeah, I know everyone out there was kind of in the dark. It's a cold winter this 2 weeks without Tom and Jerry doing it.
My good friend Tim Dillon actually has left the United States because he says it's so bad here that he's moving to France.
Yeah, he did. Didn't he leave right after he filmed a special here in Denver?
Yeah.
So we caused it was us. Then he was like, all right,
we were just such a bad crowd. Yeah. He just loved us so much.
Yeah, he probably just saw so much sin and debauchery here.
Yes, he couldn't handle Colfax.
Yeah, he went down. He went a short 200 feet where we're recording from to possibly the worst part of Colfax.
Oh, the greatest part of Colfax.
Yeah, sorry, the
Nob
greatest.
Hill.
Yeah, Nob Hill. Shout out Nob Hill, the greatest
Sancho's
dive
Broken
bird.
Arrow.
Yes, I think there's a what you'd call a homogeneous bar down there.
A homogeneous bar.
Homogeneous bar too. I think there's an arcade bar.
The arcade. Is the arcade bar the same one that throws axes, or is that a different one? Bad axe throwing.
Yeah, that is right down there too.
I think it's a different place.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You never catch me dead in the axe throwing place. That's like our friend Ian. Shout out. He's going to Urban Putt.
Way to go, Ian. You made it, bud.
With some team building activity. With his gang of coworker friends.
You've grounded yourself deep in the corporate world, my guy.
Yes, and good luck. Hey, there's the 1/4-inch plug right there behind the plants right there.
Yes, I'm able to hear.
What?
Yes.
After. All right, I'll just keep talking here until we figure this out. Goodness, we just spent 30 minutes trying to figure out how this MacBook can send audio through both the 8-inch hole
we found out
and the 1/4-inch hole.
The M1 MacBook Air cannot send outputs to more than one output.
Yeah, there's multi-output device, but it doesn't want to.
You would like to think that it would. But
yeah, and this is Apple's fault. That's not a user error whatsoever.
Not at all.
Because we're pretty much like the Hansel and Gretel of computer technology.
Precisely.
So, I really don't think
the Tom and Jerry Pod is actually on the top of the line system of podcasts right now.
Yeah, I don't think they even sell these in the market anymore, or yet, rather.
Yes, we are the Herbie Hancock of podcast hardware.
Yeah, Robert Moog himself came over to the stew.
Yes, and started wiring some shit up.
Yeah, started tweaking on his motherboard. And I think we've really got... Oh, I lost mine. No, I'm not here. Wait, I only got it on the left. Only got it on one. Oh, now they're both gone. And we're gone. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
What happened there?
All right. Sorry, guys. It's been a minute. We're just getting things started here, trying to figure things out.
We're kicking the rust off. Yes. We are from the Rust Belt.
We are Rust Beltians. We come from the place of cars and factories that don't exist anymore.
Yeah. Well, they're still there. They just don't make
they're
anything.
not.
Yeah. Okay. That's like saying.
I guess there's a couple that are still.
Like George Washington's still in Mount Union, really. Probably. Is that where he's buried?
I would doubt it, but maybe.
I mean, that's his home. You ever been there, Mount Union?
No, I guess I haven't.
Mount Union. That should bring us to our next topic, which is... Wait, we're going to start with world affairs, or are we going to go straight to the states' rights thing?
Let's start with...
A little recap.
World affairs.
All right. So the Russo-Ukrainian conflict war that's been going on since 2014.
Still has not ended.
Still has not ended after the recent escalation by our man Pooty Poot.
Mr. Putin does not seem to be letting up one bit.
No. I think
this is why we're getting blocked on YouTube from having ads or anything, because we talk about Pooty Poot. But you know what? Fuck Google. We're gonna talk about Pooty Poot.
Yeah, we could be Russian plants.
We essentially are not.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to be a plant.
I actually talked to Dmitry Lebanovnov the other day. He's the minister of ministries in Russia.
Yeah, nice.
And he told me that that they're going to send, because their warship. Did you hear the Mavra or whatever it's called? Moskrov.
Which apparently is Moscow in Russian.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, commissioned in 1983.
Right.
Yes, then decommissioned in 1990, I believe.
But still used.
But recommissioned.
Oh. What? The Russians are so good that they recommission shit, yo.
Yeah, that's the true communist.
That's how you know you're going to win a war.
You know, every person that's a recyclist is also a communist.
Yes. And when your parents tell you you're going to be a trash recycler, you recycle that information.
Yeah.
And you recycle it to your kids as well.
Yeah. And your parents. You say, well, those trash men have a union at least, Ma.
Yes.
Unlike me.
It's a great life
and
we live.
McDonald's and Amazon. Anyways, though, yeah, the Moskrov, the ship, it used to go by a different name, and then they recycled it. I think it was a Soviet ship, because that was the Soviet Union in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
And then it was, I'm sure they said it. They didn't just sink it in the harbor.
Yeah. They're like, we gotta hide the KGB now.
Let's change the name. So yeah, it was the lead of the fleet, apparently. Yeah. Top dog. Top seal, if you will.
Wow. Top seal.
Yeah, or sea lion. Do you think they have any aquatic animals in Russia?
I'm sure they've got narwhals.
Oh, narwhals. Those are the unicorn seals.
They got them in Canada, right?
Yeah.
Up north of Canada. And I believe they have them in Russia.
They were in that movie with Will Ferrell. He's like bye, buddy.
Yes.
Hope you find your dad. That's the narwhal.
Yes.
So they got to be in the North Pole.
Yeah.
So Canada and both
probably
and Russia too.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay, that was a great guess. That was a great guess.
What's that really north part of Russia? Isn't it like Yakutsky?
Well, I have no idea.
I don't know.
I think they tested some nuclear weapons up there.
Yeah, they're doing all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some mutant narwhals.
Oh yeah.
That'd be awesome.
With 3 horns.
Yeah, Triceratops narwhal.
Try to fuck with me.
Yeah, he's just spearing fuckers. He's just got 3 fish on each one.
Yeah, he doesn't even eat them. He just catches them.
He's just a sport fisher like us.
I just like to kebab motherfuckers.
But yeah, so
anyway, yeah, Putin is still pushing hard.
I really don't know. Would you gauge it either way? Who's winning at this point?
I don't think. I mean, there's no winner in war, Tom.
There's no winner in war. Oh, God, you're right.
When innocent citizens are dying,
yes,
there is no winner in war.
No,
my guy.
But war never changes.
War itself, war is the only winner. And Putin thinks he's the winner, no matter how many of his warships he loses.
Yeah, I wonder how he portrays that in to the Russian people. He's like, I don't want to do this. I got to do this to stop the Nazis, he's saying, right? Yeah. That's his claim and propaganda claim,
pretty
right?
much, I guess.
That there's Nazis in Ukraine.
Nazi? Is it really Nazis?
Yeah, I think they're like, yo, we're here to stop Nazis.
What? So he's fighting.
Who knows? This could be propaganda that's fed to me by, the fucking Twitter sphere.
Yeah.
Or the mainstream media.
Yeah.
Who's against what we're doing here, Jer.
What
we're doing.
Yeah,
we're trying to get canceled.
We're sticking it to the man.
We immediately got canceled on YouTube.
We can't even say what's going on with current affairs without being told not to do it.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Okay, so how does Joe Rogan and Tim Dillon say crazy fucking shit and they make tons of money off of their shit?
I guess they're already established, We're getting screwed by the algorithm. If you're big enough, they'll probably actually get a person in there to be like, all right, yeah, you said he was reading an article that was said,
Yeah. It's a little rough around the edges, but
Florida people or whatever.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with Florida people. I love Florida. You've been to Florida, right?
Many times, my guy. It's
That
pretty
brings
much
us-
the only vacation my family's ever gone on.
Florida?
Like every year we drove there.
Drove?
21 hours, my guy. Yeah, dude. My dad we had one of those Plymouth Voyagers. It was pink. It was like pink purple.
Yeah.
Plymouth
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And my dad built like a fucking wooden box with a little TV and a VHS player in it.
What?
And we would fucking watch movies the whole way to Florida. And like sometimes it would skip because it was like VHS, you know, and we were in a car. And it would literally like skip and shit. And you'd have to like restart it or whatever and like fast forward it to the spot where you could like get back to it.
Yeah.
That shit was awesome. It was not awesome. It was terrible. Being in a car with your family, not being able to move for 21 hours.
Oh,
terrible.
Yeah. And as a kid, dude, 1 hour seems like a fucking eternity.
Oh,
You're like,
so terrible. And I could never like sleep in the car or anything as a kid. Like I was so ADD, and I was like, oh, terrible.
Yeah, you woke up at like 4 a.m. It's like,
right?
You get in the car and
we're there, right? 15 hours left.
Yeah, you're in like Pennsylvania. You're like, what?
Right.
Virginia. Are we in South Virginia?
You look at the GPS and it says like 850 miles still on the same road.
Yeah, right.
What is it, 86 or something like that?
Oh, yeah, down to Florida. But yeah, I remember we went to like Virginia Beach in North Carolina. That was bad. I can't imagine Florida.
Yeah.
We flew to Florida because I think my dad actually... So my dad's dad was some sort an anesthesiologist, I want to say.
Oh shit!
So I think he made big.
He was a vacation guy.
I think he had an airplane.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
That he had
real
like,
vacation.
Yeah.
Guy.
Well, I think he like shared it with like maybe like 3 other doctors, right?
Was it like to get to his island or?
I think they'd fly to Florida.
Okay.
Specifically.
Got you.
Because that's where I think they like, they did the grandpa. I didn't really know. Yeah. This is before my time. Yeah. And. I don't even know what happened to
everybody does the grandpa thing in Florida,
Yeah.
My grandparents did it. They had a mobile home in Florida.
Yeah. I'm sure.
I mean, a nice mobile home.
Yeah, right.
Like $100,000 mobile home. You know,
like a ranch home, essentially.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know about all that. It's still a mobile home park, but it's just like nice people instead of like.
Yeah, they vet them.
No offense, but
Yeah.
Mobile home parks are not maybe where you want to raise a child if you can help it.
Yeah,
if you can help it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no reason to. You can move out to the Kinsman, Farmdale.
Yeah, you can find a fucking house in Akron for $20K. Like
I don't know,
Akron's not any better. You can get free education at Akron though. LeBron will send you through fucking all the way to 16th grade.
Yeah. So, what? Oh yeah, 16. It's full college, full bachelor's.
Yeah, he literally sends like 100 kids a year through all the way through college and shit. And high school, I believe.
Yeah, shout out to LeBron.
Yeah,
doesn't matter. He left the city. He left the land. Fuck him.
No, he didn't.
Fuck him.
All his money still goes here.
You
think he's fucking spending any money in LA other than his real estate?
I wouldn't blame anybody for going to Florida or California. Or Ohio,
Especially if you're fucking LeBron James. It's like,
right.
I literally came from Akron.
Cleveland.
Yeah, I literally came from Akron, so I'm going to stay here because it's so fucking awesome.
The Lamb, bro, Lamb.
Like, no, bro, I fucking won you guys a championship. I'm out. I did my part here. I fucking made you guys billions of dollars.
Did he only win one in Cleveland?
Yeah, but we almost won like 2 others around that when he was with us. So it was like
he lost, he won, he lost.
Yeah,
right?
I believe so.
Yeah, that was a good run though.
But it's like for Cleveland, that was like a life-changing thing. Like that literally brought so much like excitement and revenue into Cleveland. Like.
Right.
That whole like 2-year period, I feel like around the championship was like Cleveland felt like a real fucking city again,
Yeah, for once.
Yeah, for
once. I'd say the 70s, bro. Reminds me when the Browns are good. All right, so let me ask you this.
Anyway.
Let me ask you this though. Of the 3 professional sports teams in Cleveland, all right, who do people care about the most?
Care about the most?
Yeah. Is it a football town?
Okay.
Is it a baseball town or is it a basketball town?
But does your question mean like, do the most people care about it, or do people feel the most strongly about it?
All right, so across, what's the most,
like, because I think a lot of people would say like Indians or whatever the fuck they are now, the whatever,
the Cleveland Guardians,
the Guardians,
guarding Lake Erie from the horrible, horrible Allegheny River,
from the from the Cuyahoga, the burning Cuyahoga.
Take that bullshit to Cincinnati.
Yeah. So I think Cleveland at its heart is a football town.
Agreed, 100%.
But I think any town in the Midwest loves baseball. So
yeah.
I mean, maybe it's not just a Midwestern
Pittsburgh?
thing, but I think Pittsburgh's way more about their baseball
than the Penguins and the Steelers.
I think Penguins are for. Oh yeah, that's hard. Holy shit.
Well, Pittsburgh takes all their sports seriously.
Yeah, that's all that's going on.
Then they're all. Pittsburgh has the best sports. They're all yellow.
Sweet,
the Pirates,
honestly.
The Penguins,
and they're like a super artsy city too. It's like Pittsburgh, honestly, is like the best of all worlds.
I'm gonna say it's the best,
and it's got beautiful
Midwest
landscape.
City.
Like beautiful city.
Really.
Other than the like actually driving around Pittsburgh, because fuck that.
Yeah,
but everything's a one way, and it's like the whole city's built as like a triangle rather than a fucking square.
Oh yeah.
So it's like nothing makes sense. Trying to do one ways when they're literally like diagonal from each other makes no sense, dude.
And like the one way will be on one side of the river, and the other way will be the other side of the river.
Right?
And you're like, I gotta drive.
Oh shit, I gotta go 5 more miles to catch a bridge. Like what?
Where am I?
Right.
Yeah, I'm halfway to fucking Philadelphia by the time I get back to East Liverpool.
Definitely a very romantic city, though. There's so many cool spots in that city.
Yeah, there's a lot of brick. You know, there's some grit.
Yeah.
There's not. I don't know what the deal is with Cleveland, man. You lived there. I never lived there. I don't want to just spend this whole podcast.
It's kind of what I think
on the city.
It's kind of what I think of Boise.
Boise. All right.
So what I think of Boise, what I took of Boise,
all right,
was it's a city where maybe like 40,000 people live.
Okay.
And then when it's college time, 100,000 people live there.
Okay.
Either way, whether it's college time or not college time, 98% of people have cowboy boots. Not cowboy boots, but like are
jeans
as white as you can get. Like, absolutely, like, yeah.
No,
like Denver doesn't even compare,
really?
Which tells you something.
Yeah. Shout out to Denver's lack of diversity.
Yeah, and I went there on 4th of July, so like I saw everybody in Boise.
Oh yeah.
So it was. I'm telling you, 98%.
Yeah.
The only diversity I saw was this little tiny black boy was getting blasted with a fucking water gun by this giant like muscled up SWAT dude in a fucking like massive tank with his like body armor on, just blasting this kid. I was like, this is Boise.
I could see them being like, yeah, we're totally like not as racist as the Mormons. We're Yankees, bro. They're South.
Yeah,
man.
they're different down there.
I feel like the Mormons would be like more accepting than those Boise folks. I bet Boise's full of just like Canadians. They're like, oh, this is warm down here.
Yeah, exactly. Or just like the kids that like their parents bought land there when Boise was fucking growing like 3 years ago or whatever. And like, it's just all the rich kids.
I could see it.
From like fucking Washington and
named Brody.
Brody.
Let's get all to bro. They don't let snowboarders there, bro. You can escape, bro. I got Instagram, bro.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
so that's pretty much what I think of Cleveland is like. It's basically better than that. So it's better than Boise because it's got more grit. It's got more, we got the Midwestern thing going on.
It's got a body of water.
But it's like the basic, standardness of the city. Like Pittsburgh's got a little bit of interesting things to it.
I mean,
you know, Cleveland
Pittsburgh,
has a little bit because of the lake and whatnot, you know.
That's what I'm saying. There is opportunity for Cleveland.
There is.
They just didn't adapt like Pittsburgh did for whatever reason. It's really hard to say what really happened because that's a perfect comparison, right?
Yeah.
Is Pittsburgh
well,
and Cleveland.
The thing is, Cleveland was a one
industry
all
city.
eggs in one basket city.
But Pittsburgh wasn't?
Pittsburgh was, but they were they were a little more diverse, I think, because, well, I guess Cleveland had like tires too, but who the fuck knows if that's.
But don't you think it was easier to move materials between Cleveland?
They're on the river.
Pittsburgh.
But Cleveland's on the lake, so we're connected to Canada.
Chicago.
But like, how much trade do we do with Canada? Like
Detroit, Chicago,
Green
Bay.
Yeah.
I wonder
but
what was
Pittsburgh
first.
was was a big part of that too. But I think Pittsburgh also had a lot of oil and
coal,
like mining. Yeah.
And the proximity to West Virginia. You know, logistics were a big thing back then, moving shit from one place to the other. I don't know.
And they were right on the river. And
we really need to
everything is flowing through the river, dude. Like,
I don't know. I still feel that the lake would be easier. I feel like the river may have been first, though. Because Cincinnati was the first, like, inland.
True. Because Canada wasn't really established. Canada was later. Like Toronto would have been way later than, like,
you might be right.
Like a Cleveland, right? Maybe like 40 or 50 years or something, but...
We need an expert. We're asking complex questions.
You know?
We're trying to compare timelines of cities
But seriously,
industries.
I feel like Pittsburgh is the perfect split between...
it's kind of the gateway to the...
Between New York and Chicago.
Yeah. Cleveland's not?
I think Cleveland actually might be.
I think they have the both.
Because we're on 80. Because we're on 80, yeah.
I think it's a great comparison.
I think it actually is Cleveland. But Pittsburgh has the river, and there's a lot of I think the mining stuff is why Pittsburgh's more of a mining city, because the river is more mined stuff. You know, you have those giant-ass cargo boats full of coal and shit.
But like, how did Chicago become the city it is? Did it go through the
railroads? That's what I don't understand.
Did it go
Chicago?
Through, you know?
Because Chicago's like, I guess Chicago was the first West, really. Like,
I think that's what Cincinnati is considered. I think Cincinnati may have predated Chicago.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
So maybe Pittsburgh may have benefited because Pittsburgh's the beginning of the river that goes down to Cincinnati, right?
Yes.
So if I had to reckon a guess,
I would say Marietta was really important in the wars. I know.
You're right. We had the Civil War.
So I think that's why Pittsburgh is more of a military stranglehold place.
I think you might be right.
I think that was more important. Yeah. For World War or the Civil War. It was important because it was a trade route for good. You know, it was like the crucial thing in World War Civil War. Yeah. So
interesting. We need to find I bet we can find some old man at the library. You know, hey, do you know a lot about like, you know, the development of like pre-industrial age, like Midwest cities?
Well, it's interesting. Honestly, like I want to get my dad to talk to us because like he knows a shit ton about like the Youngstown area and stuff. All the mill stuff. And Youngstown is the fucking epicenter of the steel industry. Like, you know, in Youngstown is part of the Pittsburgh thing because Youngstown is perfectly situated between Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh, I believe, would mine a lot of the metals, a lot of the things that they needed, and they would ship them to the steel mills in Youngstown and Cleveland, and then they would ship them to Chicago and New York from there. I think that was kind of in Detroit for the steel, for the cars, and and I think that's kind of why the Midwest was all like manufacturing, was because it was in the middle of everything, and you could like get supplies here easy and also get output. Yeah, you know.
So I wonder why is Chicago such a big city?
That's what I don't understand, man.
Because they did have, I remember learning deep in elementary school, probably maybe second or third grade, that Chicago had a big fire
Yeah.
And that it burned down a large portion of the city, and they had to rebuild it.
Rebuild it.
So it may have had like that sort of jump, that artificial, maybe not artificial, but like sometimes, a city gets bombed in Europe and it build back
because like the federal government gives them a bunch of money or some shit like that.
It's just kind of forced into change. You don't have this old rickety system of infrastructure that you're like trying to build around. People are like, oh, this is my cobblestone road. And you're like, well, if it gets bombed, if the whole thing burns down, you kind of got a fresh slate.
Yeah.
It may have had there's somebody said about like bringing the citizens together over a single cause, like our city burned down, we gotta build back.
True.
We're gonna sacrifice.
We got something to fight for. Yeah.
It made a surge. Something like that. I would reckon that Chicago became some sort of breadbasket for the agricultural. Almost like a co-op of the pre-Dust Bowl area.
Yeah.
That caused the Dust Bowl, all that agriculture. But I really don't know. Tim might know. We need your friend Dante.
Dante, he doesn't know as much about like.
I thought he was American history cat.
Yeah, he knows a lot about like the Civil War and stuff. I don't know if he would know why.
I feel like he'd kind of have to. That's the nitty gritty, right? The not so sexy parts
immigrants.
of history. Immigrants
were really important.
I could see that. That's something.
Same with Cleveland.
We need diversity.
Same with Cleveland. That's the same thing.
That's what makes America great is the diversity of melting pots of people.
In 1871, the Great Chicago Fire destroyed an area of about 4 miles long and 1 mile wide, a large section of the city at a time. Much of the city, including railroads and stockyards, survived intact, and from the ruins of the previous wooden structures arose more modern constructions of steel and stone. These set a precedent for worldwide construction. During its rebuilding period, Chicago constructed the world's first skyscraper in 1885 using steel skeleton construction. So it was probably like the first big city feel,
Okay, all right.
Like
that's what
the
I was
architecture, which is interesting because Chicago, I always thought it was so weird, but Chicago's like an art city in the Midwest. And I feel like that's not like all the I know like a shit ton of like companies have all of their like advertising and stuff out of Chicago. Mm-hmm. So there's a shit ton of like creative people in Chicago. And I always thought that was like kind of weird because like that's not what the Midwest is like really known for,
True.
We're kind of like nose to the grindstone people,
Yeah, that's what we might be experiencing here in Denver a little bit,
Yeah.
because we're centrally located like that. But it seems that more of I don't know, it's hard to say. You don't want to discount the East Coast, but it seems like we're more of a West Coast nation now. I don't know. It seems like people are moving west. The appeal is in the West a bit,
Yeah.
More so.
Like actually geographically or like ideologically?
I would say if you were to divide it between like the Mississippi, I would say that more people at least our generation, millennials, more people are moving from east to west than west to east.
Or south.
Or south.
South is the other thing.
Yeah.
Because you also have to think like
pretty much everyone's moving away from the Midwest.
The Midwest, exactly. What do they call it? The brain drain.
Yeah, the brain drain.
Yeah. Which it's like we're literally the perfect example.
We're
of the
pretty
brain
fucking
drain.
smart,
Just taking all our damn brain.
Yeah. It's sad. I'd like Ohio would be cool if I think I could get over the shitty weather if it was bounding with people, if it was
well, that's the okay, so that's one thing that I've totally noticed about being in Denver is the people are so different.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely life-changing, honestly.
It really is.
The people in Cleveland, I do really enjoy the vibe, but it's hard to be somebody who's trying to improve and do shit like that, because it's everybody just kind of wants to hang out and have their favorite bars and
Yeah.
What
And I feel like if we were doing this here in Cleveland, we'd feel weird about doing the podcast in Cleveland, right?
Exactly.
We'd be embarrassed to tell people about it.
Exactly.
But here it's like,
I was thinking about
we
that.
got a fucking podcast. We're like,
Right.
goddamn right you have a podcast.
Yeah, because
People
what
are like,
else
"Hey,
do you
so
do
do
in
I have a
Denver? Yeah, exactly. You just write it on Craigslist, and there's like 20 other dudes that comment on it. And they're like, "What? I'm doing that too."
Yeah, we got a podcast meeting coming up. We're all gonna hang out, have a couple beers, maybe have a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. Maybe the
Yeah,
people.
man. But anything you'd tell somebody in Cleveland, and they'd be like, "What? Like, what the fuck do you think you're like? You think you're fucking Joe Rogan or some bullshit? You piece of shit." Like,
Meanwhile, they got fucking arthritis on a
Yeah,
Sunday
right.
watching the Browns, taking the fucking sports team
right?
seriously.
Never taken a jog in their life.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you like wings. Okay, congratulations.
Way
That's
to
a
go.
wonderful personality.
You know
trait.
how to make buffalo chicken dip. Could you
Yeah.
teach me something else?
Congratulations, you got a crock pot. But yeah, I don't want
You
to.
know
I don't
the
want
Cheesecake
to.
Factory fucking menu better
I
than
could
the
say-
back of your hand.
All right, I will not to gloat or anything, but I've never been to fucking Cheesecake Factory.
Only once.
I love cheese. This says
Only
someone that
once.
I think cheesecake is my favorite sweet. It's the only sweet I really like, other than like chocolate, dark chocolate. You know, obviously I'll get down with the Reese
You
cup.
like dark chocolate?
I love dark
Oh,
chocolate.
I got the perfect thing.
All right.
Keep it going, bro. I got
All
the perfect
right.
thing for you.
Jerry's about to put something dark and velvety in my mouth right now. Yes, Jerry. No, but yeah, I really love. I mean, honestly, a plain piece of cheesecake. I don't even need the fruit or the chocolate in there.
With a little fruit on it.
I'll go with some fruit. We need a little garnish. We don't need to go crazy though. I'm there for the cheesecake. Most of the cheese. What do we got here?
Dark chocolate Reese's cup, my guy.
Stevia sweetened? Oh
Yeah,
my
dude.
god, what?
How high quality is
Wow.
that?
This is wonderful. Shout out to Lily's in Boulder, Colorado. Wow.
Whole Foods is just a fucking utopia, my
Oh
guy.
god. So yeah, let's address the me and Jerry found ourselves both just tweeting by ourselves. Were you by yourself?
I was by myself.
Just a man.
literally sitting in my car, smashing like fucking $35 worth of a cardboard box worth of food. Just
Oh,
watching
God.
every fucking 60-year-old woman with like loose fitting pants that walked up, fucking just staring at me like, what is this goddamn crackhead doing?
Holy shit. All right. First of all, oh my god, that's good.
Right.
Oh my god.
Right. I was like, I'm never eating a Reese's cup ever again.
Woo!
This
God.
is amazing.
Dude, chocolate. All right.
And the peanut butter too is like so good. It's
oh
like
my god. This is making me. I'm high off this Reese cup. I took a fifth, maybe
Right?
a sixth.
normally you'd
of a
eat the whole
cup.
thing, right?
Yeah, I'd plop
It's
that bad boy
so
in my mouth.
good.
Woo!
You can actually appreciate it.
Yeah.
Bite by bite.
Yeah. All right.
All right, everybody. So Lily's,
Lily's. Boy, hey, let me
70% cocoa, stevia sweetened, dark chocolate, peanut butter. You gotta get them. Try them out. You
All
can find them
right.
at your local Whole Foods. Only if you live in Denver. Because apparently they're from Boulder.
Yeah, which is a suburb of Denver,
Yeah.
in case you didn't know.
I feel like most people do.
Yeah, no, people think that Boulder is its own place, but it's really just a fucking.
Do people even know Denver? I thought people just knew Boulder.
No. If anybody, Boulder's essentially the appendix of Denver.
Yeah.
No one knows really why it's there. It's just filled with fucking mysterious bacteria.
With Joe Rogans.
Well, I don't know about that. Maybe.
That's
I'm
where he
just,
lived, bro.
That is where he lived. Yeah. Shout out to Boulder, the
I mean-
Genesis. I think that's where the podcast started. Was in Boulder.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
You might be right.
We should go ask people. So how does it feel to be in the hometown of Joe Rogan? Did you know the Joe Rogan experience started here in Boulder?
Did you know?
How many hours a week do you spend listening to Joe Rogan?
Did you know that it wasn't called the Joe Rogan Experience
Like,
back then?
fuck that guy. He gives Alex Jones a platform.
Alex Jones thinks that little kids didn't actually die. Yeah. He's still getting shit for that, dude. Isn't he like, what's the deal? I just heard something about it. He's like back in the shit for it.
It's like every Tuesday, man. You see Joe Rogan
It's like every
trending on
Tuesday.
Twitter. It's like, oh, here's a slow day in the war.
Let's talk about Alex Jones. He'll get things started.
Like Joe Rogan said he doesn't like French people because he doesn't like snails. Oh goodness. But yeah. So Bill Maher was just on did you listen to the Bill Maher one?
No.
So that he actually has brought up something that there's not a lot of late night podcasts. That's what we need to
shit.
I think that's our glove.
Strictly late night conversation.
At least
Pillow
talk.
At
least when we strut. Yeah. At least when we. Pillow talk with Tom and Jerry. Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
we must. And we start off.
I love pillow talk. Can I just say that I love pillow talk? Not with you, but with a girl, a gal.
Fuck you, bro.
That's
some bullshit, bro. I want some pillow talk.
Don't lie to the listeners, man. You know we pillow talk.
We pillow talk all the time.
But yeah. But that would be hilarious. Pillow talk. Pillow talk with Tom and Jerry. We only talk noises like this. Hey there, girl.
Hey there. How are you laying?
What is that thread count?
Are you on your left or your
600,
right?
huh? He couldn't buy you 800? Why hasn't he proposed yet?
I can smell your breath. I don't quite want to make out.
Your breath smells like eggs.
It's a little too much dark chocolate for me.
What came first?
The chicken?
Or the egg?
I think.
Or you?
The eggshell.
The shell.
The shell came first.
I don't know about pillow talk with T and J.
I don't know if I can make that happen. I'm not sexy enough.
Yeah, we're pretty what
There's
you'd
no
say.
sexy in violence.
Let's talk about...
All right, not my song, not my song. Copyrights, not mine, not my rights.
Like, what, bro?
Gosh.
Well, bro.
I feel so censored.
Yeah. I wish we wouldn't be canceled every podcast.
What do you think about an Elon Musk Twitter?
Oh,
do you think a private Twitter would be?
Wait. Let's pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes.
We were talking about way too much.
We started this podcast
about Putin
with intentions. we were gonna get to world affairs, and then we were gonna get to state affairs, which we did. We were almost there.
Not really, but we did.
We were gonna talk about the Michael Malice podcast and the governor of California gubernatorial nation.
Gubernatorial.
Goober race.
All the fucking goobers get together and talk.
Yeah, there's probably like 16 goobers running for
they just run for 20 miles.
Yeah, of course. I only know about the one that was on Joe Rogan, and that's the one that I want to win.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't.
Michael Schellenberger.
Yeah, Schellenberger Meister.
Schellenberger Meister.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about one thing. Let's talk about one thing that I've that. So you listened to that. You brought up that podcast that I haven't listened to. This
Mr. Michael Malice.
Yeah, I know who Michael Malice is. I think
very interesting fellow.
A self-professed anarchist, I believe.
Yes.
Which is kind of the extreme end. Which I don't think he's
He's not your typical anarchist, though.
Yeah. Because when you've listened to people, I don't know about you, but when I've listened to people that are either anarchists or communists, or the other in-between word of that is anarcho-syndicalists.
Okay, yeah.
These are people that are, their ideologies, right? Anarchy is an ideology, communism, Marxism is an ideology, right? And there's a lot of good ideas in these ideologies, right? Ideas within the ideologies.
Precisely.
But perhaps, maybe you shouldn't subscribe, like and subscribe to ideologies, right?
And to Tom and Jerry podcast.
Yeah, you should
YouTube.
really only. we are a non-ideological podcast, right?
Yes.
We were more of a what you would call a litmus test upon the culture of our times, right?
Wow.
We're kind of a reflection. I don't know about you. I'm a reflection of my environment, probably. Good. I feel like that I reflect the. I'm a bit of an iguana.
Agreed. Yes. You
stay
stay part of what you are.
Yeah.
You stay a part of the things that you're supposed to be.
Yeah, there's a
Part
lot of
of the
different
society,
creeks that you
part
could
of the-
flow with
Exactly.
them, you know, and that's a good thing, right?
Yeah. It's important to stay informed about what should be in order to see what you don't want to be in order to stay outside that box, you know?
Right.
You have to understand everything that's in the square box
Yes.
of being normal in order to step outside of that box.
Yes, right. Right, exactly. So, I would say that you and I are...
We're more realist than
Yeah.
than somebody who would be an anarchist, like, say, Mr. Michael Malice or a Mr. Tim White.
Yeah. Yes, our consultant, our international
Our
consultant.
international
Yes.
consultant, Mr. Tim
Who
White.
we're not going to call today because we're focusing on the USA. and
Domestic,
state rights.
yes.
So we're not going to call him. I think he's at Top Golf, actually.
Okay.
He just texted me and wanted me to go Top Golf.
I don't think we want him right
I
now.
said, that's
anyway.
not my style. It's like axe throwing and urban putt-putt.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go. It's just not my scene.
It's
All right?
not a longboard down
That's
a hill.
that's more of a Gen X Nickelback millennial kind of a thing. You know?
Understood,
And I'm not
understood.
saying there's anything wrong with that. If you want to spend
Yeah.
your money to support the economy,
I don't
tip your
need-
waiter at least 50%.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I don't need to spend $23 on my artichoke dip.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like hit a golf ball into a hole.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't really like golf. Do you like golf?
I don't mind golf because you can get really drunk. It's more fun. It's more fun for the time that you can have golfing than
With
it
your
is
friends.
about golfing.
Okay. All right. It's camaraderie.
Exactly. If
right.
I was golfing alone, I would not golf.
Yeah.
Ever.
Totally not. That being said, one of my favorite athletes is Tiger Woods.
Agreed.
Agreed. Yeah.
Mentally, yes.
Physically.
Morally.
Spiritually. Morally. Dude, they roasted him, man. All he was doing was banging whores.
He just wanted to
Oh,
bang
he
some
banged
horse.
some whores, man. What's
Come on.
that?
Ugh.
They did the.
All he wanted to do was wreck his fucking car, bro, and they just had to roast him.
Oh, poor Tiger, man. I love.
And
Tiger.
look how strong his mental still is.
Yeah, I
the
think
guy.
he just played. He just
Yeah, I
played
don't
in
know
the,
how he did. He wasn't doing too hot when I saw him playing.
Yeah, well, he broke
was,
both
like,
of his
halfway
legs,
through.
right?
Yeah.
Like
But
2
his
years
son
ago.
is gonna fucking beat him in like 2 years anyway. So
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see, because that's really kind of a question of our modern times, if you will. Is that you have a successful father, right?
yeah.
Super into his work, you know.
Mhm.
I don't know a lot of people like this. We don't really come from an area, but imagine if you grew up
Yeah.
in Lake Tahoe or something. You would see a lot of dads that didn't spend a lot of time with their kids. Maybe, you know, bought them an iPhone when they were 10.
Yeah.
An
Just
iPad
play with
when
this,
they
you
were
fucking
11.
kid.
Yeah. So, but I would say the majority of those kids probably grow up, well,
Doing a lot of cocaine.
maybe not. Yeah, maybe. It is weird. We didn't really grow up in a place where there was really, like, we thought we were like, you know, we'd smoke a cigarette occasionally.
Dude, we
We're
were
like, we're pretty badass.
we had a party all the way out in a barn fucking 3 miles away from civilization or any road. We're so fucking bad.
Right. And then, like, even, like, Ian, like, at Howland, like, they were smoking cigarettes, apparently.
Yeah.
There was no chance. You couldn't even leave our school without somebody being like, why the fuck's Tom going? And fucking-
Yeah, right.
There was no, like, go. I guess you could go work on a fucking farm if you really wanted to at the second half a day, but they wouldn't let you go to lunch and come back. Where you gonna go? The fucking the British
We were
Petroleum.
allowed to do that shit, yeah.
Yeah, I know you guys were. That's what I'm saying. It's
We
scaled.
would- yeah,
It's
we
scaled. So that's what I'm saying. If you lived in, like, somewhere, like, especially, like, Los Angeles, where they have those, like, you pretty much, like, your lockers are outside because it's,
True.
like, you know, when you'd watch, like, those Nickelodeon shows. or
Each
Disney
classroom's
shows.
like a different fucking building.
Yeah, they didn't look anything like
Yeah,
where I
it's
went
weird.
to.
Yeah, it's super weird. We're in like these giant brick buildings, like
Right, yeah.
protecting us from the outside,
It's
and
on lockdown.
yeah,
Where's your hall pass? What?
yeah.
But yeah.
So we started with Michael Malice. So the idea that Michael Malice has been bringing forth as his anarchist self, which I would say that he is more in the middle. I would say he's not necessarily like a Tim anarchist where like anarchy is the only solution.
Well, I just wouldn't say Tim is an because Tim is the anarcho-syndicalist, which is the Noam Chomsky flavor of.
Meaning what exactly?
So it's a stateless version of communism, right? So it's like the arguments against communism has always been that the state has become tyrannical.
Got you.
So then they add in this flavor of anarchy, and I'll admit I'm a little biased because I'm not an ideology guy. You know, I'm not an ideology guy
because it doesn't. Yeah.
But my basic understanding of this is a stateless commune. You know, and the examples that they use, which is what that Michael Schellenberg talked about, not on this one, but this previous time on Joe Rogan, is that there's essentially like 2 or 3 good examples of quote unquote either anarcho-communist or anarcho-syndicalism, which essentially means the same thing. It's like collaboration.
Yeah, so
community.
Basically just grassroots.
Yeah.
Like
a grassroots economy, trade, not necessarily a currency, and no central leaders. So there was a set of farmers in Barcelona, I believe, in Spain, I think in the early 20th century.
Interesting.
That the state of Spain, I believe it was Franco.
Yeah.
He was a fascist guy who Hitler tested his war on before he invaded Poland.
Yes,
so the
Dave
early
Franco.
30s. Dave, I don't.
It's a joke. Get over
All
it.
right.
Keep going.
So, and then there was also, I believe, the beginning of Israel. When Israel was first established, there wasn't really a state as much. It was just like a kind of like a Jewish religion. You know? And I forget what the other example is, but there's really not the essential argument to what, and I think you might be right as far as comparing Tim and Michael Malice or whatever, who is, I would say that Michael Malice's ideas are probably a little bit more important than Tim's, but I don't really know. But essentially it would be, I don't know what's the max. It's essentially it's a question of what's the max number of people you can.
What is your commune?
What is your commune? Yeah. So what is that?
What is your group? What is your band?
So is that 30 people, 100 people?
But see, that's what I don't understand about it. Is it's like, what is the scale then? Yeah, like how do those people, like, what do they think about? Like, they just think everybody's gonna live in a tribe in harmony, or like to what scale do they think it would work? Like, is there like a kind of a standard idea of that? Do you know, or?
Well, so I think that's probably what the compromise would probably be. What I am in favor of, and I'm assuming Michael Malice is in favor of, is that we could be a United States, right? That the governor can have more power than the president, right? And that you can make these decisions.
Isn't that how it currently is? Don't the states have more power than the federal?
No, that's what the idea was initially. So that's what I believe the Articles of Confederation was more. Do you remember that?
More, states' rights.
Before the Constitution was established, there was the Articles of Confederation, which is pretty much just a loose confederation of the 13 colonies. They had different currencies. There's a lot of problems with this.
Okay,
it was like there were some serious problems.
Yeah,
like there was no,
like how fucking the EU is today, pretty much.
Especially when you have a tyrannical like a Britain that owns half the world trying to influence you, and you're trying to squabble over currency disputes.
Yeah,
you're trying to trade. Like so, that's why there's no, and that's what that guy. Michael Schellenberg is like what he argued on the first. There's really it's not offering a whole lot of real world solutions, to say that this is the ideal of like how people should live is in these 30 to 100. I don't know if that's what they advocate for, but that's what I imagine personally of like if you were just like plopped in the middle of like say Kansas and you had enough, maybe you needed to gather resources. What's the max number of people where you could all collaborate and have an equal amount of
But that's
input?
Totally unsustainable.
With a population, how many people we have in Denver? 3 million.
Yeah, that would be so huge. Like the fact that we live on top of each other is the reason why we have cities and stuff. But I guess I get the idea. So what's the idea ideologically then for that? Like, what does that do socially? Like, just keep people closer to their own kind? Like, how does that benefit anything?
Just being like, so let's say you were a group of 100, you were a commune of 100 people.
It's
and
just
like,
more efficient and scalable.
We wouldn't be like just ignoring the homeless people out here, right?
Got you.
We wouldn't just be like, yeah, it's part of society. Yeah, whatever. It's part of society,
Yeah.
It's like, whatever. The police are murdering people, whatever, And there's a lot of like high-minded kind of like benefits to these things, but there's simply too much people now. There's a shit ton of people. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, you can't just have 100-person communes that
We have
take
to
up
live in
50 miles.
Yeah, we have to live in some sort of republic, some sort of democracy. Democracy's not perfect.
Yeah. So then imagine if we did something like what Michael Malice is talking about today. If we just all of a sudden split the Union up into 50 individual nations, and each nation was actually set like what the EU has, where each nation is separate, but you still have like a currency or something that's like together.
Yeah.
Like we would still have the US dollar, like Texas wouldn't have their own Texas coin. Who knows? The Dogecoin might become the Texan coin.
Yeah, it might adopt crypto.
What pros and cons do you think would happen if that were the case?
Well, my biggest gripe of what's currently going on is that the taxes we pay is that way more money is going to the federal government, right?
True. Yeah. Massive
Vastly
amounts of
more.
money.
It's pretty much 4 to 5
That
times.
is interesting. I've never actually thought about that. I'm always like, yes, I don't have to pay anything for my state, but it's like,
yeah,
you should be paid. I was unemployed for like 6 months last year. There's no way I paid enough state taxes in my life to fucking cover that, you know?
Yeah, totally. But you may have paid the federal taxes for that. Generally,
Yeah.
I would say generally, if you were going to pay $20 in state taxes, you're going to pay $100 in federal taxes.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably worse than that. I bet.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much 5% for state usually.
Well, it's different. Well, so you have federal tax, and then you've got Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, and then I think a couple other things, and then the state tax.
Mm-hmm.
But I think so. What I'm not sure what Michael Malice was advocating for there, but you could introduce an amendment that says that your federal taxes cannot be more than your state taxes.
Okay.
And that would give power to the state, I think.
Got you.
Because money's power, right?
Yeah. So
that
sounds like a good idea, because essentially then you would be taking money away from, I guess, international or national infrastructure, like interstates.
The interstates.
And military.
Yeah.
And just government, like the Pentagon kind of shit. Parks. But
Yeah.
like,
how much of the budget
I don't
does
think
that
we
take?
really need. I like would not mind balancing out the budget a bit.
Yeah.
If we could fucking cut like maybe like $200 billion out of the military and fucking take that and throw it to like education and fucking transportation and like.
And that's the other thing is like we need to be able to have a little bit more say in what our money actually does.
That's the truth, because that's why I think we need more of like a businessman as our fucking president. Like we need a treasurer as our fucking president. We don't need like politicians. Like, I mean, we do.
So this is what I think Michael Malice and I think myself are advocating for. We don't even need the federal government.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
If you have state government, then
if you have state government. So like, and I really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a large amount of ignorance to what actually goes on. But do we need a president? Do we need Congress? Why can't we just have a Supreme Court at the top at the federal government? There's 7 people.
But see, that's the weird point, because that's where states could get massive power. Like,
and that's the idea, though.
Yeah, but that could be a bad thing. Like, imagine like one of these, like what's Florida's
the Don't Get Say Gay one?
Yeah, like what if though, like one state like that just totally took off with like one direction. Like they
mean,
could.
that's kind of the idea.
But I guess that's kind of the
let the cards fall where they, you know.
But then
let
at
the
that
cards fall
point,
where they may.
but then at that point, you have the same thing that's happening in the EU.
There's going to be casualties in there.
But
right?
that's going to be the same thing that happens with the EU. Is it's all just going to fall apart and nobody's going to be strong anymore. You know what I mean? Like right now, like Wales want to go away. Fucking Britain wants to go away. Fucking France. Like if everybody just goes away, what do you have when Russia wants to fucking take over? Like what do you do?
Well, if you've got nukes.
I guess you're all still individual
nukes.
Countries and you are still fighting. I guess you're still fighting the same way. It doesn't really matter. You just have to have more.
If you have nukes.
If you have nukes.
Which France and Britain
Why does that matter?
Because that'll deter just invade. Imagine if Ukraine had nukes and the second that Russia started to invade, they just, you know. Why doesn't South Korea do anything about North Korea, you know?
Well, if that was the case, why wouldn't Putin just blow up Ukraine then?
Because Ukraine doesn't have nukes.
But that's what I'm saying. Why wouldn't they just blow up? Like, if that was the case, like, if Ukraine was going to just blow them up.
Let me take a whiz. Hold on. Hold on. Sorry.